Two couples retired the very same month. Same $1.2 million, same house, same Social Security, same monthly spending. 6 years later, one of them had handed the IRS $42,600 more than the other. Not because of the market, not because one of them was reckless, because of a single quiet decision they both made in their first month of retirement, and one of them got it backwards. It triggered a second hidden tax most retirees have never even heard of. And here's the part that should worry you. If you're retired right now, you may have already made the very same choice. Stay with me. I'll show you exactly how. Let me show you the two couples, because in a minute, you're going to recognize one of them. Maybe in the mirror. They both retired the same year. Both had exactly $1.2 million saved. Both were 68 years old. Both collected $48,000 a year from Social Security, the government retirement check you paid into your whole working life. And both wanted to spend about $70,000 a year on top of that check. Same house money, same lifestyle, same math. Here at Nest Egg Files, every case we open has a number sitting at the end of it. This one is $42,600. That's the gap that opened up between these two couples in just 6 years. Not because one of them picked better investments, not because the market was kinder to one of them. Their accounts were nearly identical. So here's the strange part. If everything about them was the same savings, same age, same spending, then whatever cost one of them $42,000 can't be luck. It has to be a choice, a single, quiet choice. And that's what makes this one worth your time. It wasn't a reckless choice. It wasn't a scam or a bad advisor or a gamble that went wrong. It was a decision both couples made in their very first month of retirement. The kind that feels so obvious, most people never stop to question it. One of them questioned it. The other didn't. So before I show you the number, I have to show you the choice. Which account did each couple reach for first? Because that, and nothing else, is where the $42,000 was won or lost. So both couples sat down that first month, needed $70,000 to live on, and looked at where it could come from. Here's where the paths split. The first couple did what almost everyone does. They went to the account they'd always thought of as their retirement account, the traditional IRA. It has the most money in it. It has retirement written all over it. Pulling from it feels like using the tool for exactly the job it was built for. So that's what they did. $70,000 straight out of the IRA. The second couple did something that looks almost careless by comparison. They left the big IRA alone. Instead, they pulled their $70,000 from a regular brokerage account, an ordinary investment account with no special tax label on it at all. Now, if I stopped you right here and asked which couple was being responsible, most people would point to the first one. They're using the retirement account for retirement. Clean, sensible. The second couple almost looks like they're avoiding the obvious. But that's the trap. The IRS does not tax these two accounts the same way, not even close. And the couple that reached for the right account, the responsible one, the one with retirement in the name, just quietly signed up for the bigger tax bill every single year. They wouldn't feel it yet. No alarm, no letter, no phone call. The damage starts silently, on paper, the moment the money leaves the account. So why does the same $70,000 land so differently depending on which account it comes out of? That's the first tax, the one you can see. Quick thing before we go deeper. If this is the kind of mistake you'd rather catch than commit, subscribing is how the next case file reaches you before the deadline does. That's it. Let's keep going. Here's the rule. Almost nobody explains before you retire. Every dollar you pull out of a traditional IRA is taxed like a paycheck. The IRS calls it ordinary income, the same category as the wages from your job. You built that account with pre-tax money, and now, on the way out, the tax comes due. All of it. So when the first couple pulled $70,000 from their IRA, the government treated it as if they'd earned $70,000 at a job. The whole amount counts. Now, watch the second couple and that brokerage account. When you sell investments in a brokerage account, you are not taxed on the whole withdrawal. You're taxed only on the growth, the profit your money made. The part you originally put in, your own money, comes back to you tax-free. For the second couple, only about $26,000 of that $70,000 was growth. The rest was just their own money coming home. And that growth is taxed under gentler rules than a paycheck is. Same $70,000 in their pockets. One couple reported $70,000 to the IRS. The other reported $26,000. You can already feel the gap opening. But here's the part I really need you to hear. This visible tax, the one you can see on the form, is not where the $42,000 comes from. It's barely the start of it. The real damage is happening somewhere most retirees never think to look. Your Social Security check can be taxed. A lot of folks don't know that, and whether it gets taxed, and how badly, depends on something called your combined income. Forget the name. Here's all it means. The government adds up your other income for the year, plus half of your Social Security, and looks at that total. Then it checks two lines in the sand. For a married couple, if that total stays under $32,000, your Social Security is not taxed at all. Cross $44,000 and up to 85% of your Social Security check becomes taxable. Now, here's what should make you sit up. Those two numbers have not changed since the 1980s. Never adjusted for inflation. 40 years of rising prices and the lines never moved. So every year, more ordinary retirees get pulled across them. Put the couples back on the table. The first couple's $70,000 of IRA income is ordinary income. It lands right in that combined income total and shoves them far past $44,000. So now up to 85% of their Social Security gets dragged into the taxable column too. The withdrawal didn't just get taxed. It reached over and taxed their Social Security on the way by. The second couple? Their brokerage withdrawal barely showed up in that formula. They stayed under the line. Their Social Security stayed almost entirely tax-free. That's the torpedo. Same spending, same lifestyle, but one couple is taxed twice on the same decision, and they can't see it happening. So what does that quiet second tax add up to year after year? Let's put the exact number down. Add the visible tax and the hidden tax together, and the first couple, the one who reached for the IRA, pays about $7,100 more in federal tax. Every year. Not once. Every year. And it runs for 6 years, from age 68 to 73. That's the window before one more rule kicks in, and we'll get to it in a second. 7,100 times 6. $42,600. That's the number. The gap between two couples who started with the exact same $1.2 million, the same Social Security, the same spending, handed to the IRS by one couple and kept by the other, for no reason except the order they pulled their money. Let me say what that really is, so it lands. That's a new car they never bought. A year, maybe 2, of the trips they wanted while they were still healthy enough to take them. Money they could have left their kids. Gone, not to a crash, not to a bad investment, to a tax they never had to trigger. And I'll be straight with you, because this channel only works if I am. $42,600 is the careful, conservative version. It assumes the accounts sat flat, so the figure comes from the tax rules alone. But there's one more rule waiting at 73, and it decides whether even a smart plan holds together. And do me one favor. If you've ever pulled from the wrong account without realizing it, or you're not sure you haven't, type the word order in the comments. It tells me how many of you are carrying this quietly, and it tells YouTube to put this in front of the folks who need it before their next withdrawal. You might be thinking the lesson is simple. Never touch your IRA. Always spend the brokerage first. I understand why, but that's not quite right either. And this is where a lot of well-meaning retirees get ambushed. Here's the problem. If you leave a big traditional IRA completely untouched, it doesn't sit there quietly. It keeps growing, and at 73, the IRS stops letting you leave it alone. It forces you to pull a set amount out every year, required minimum distributions, forced withdrawals, whether you need the money or not. The bigger the IRA when that day comes, the bigger the forced withdrawal. And every dollar of it is ordinary income all over again. You see the trap. A retiree who protects their IRA too well can walk into 73 with a huge account, get hit with large forced withdrawals, and light up the exact same Social Security torpedo we just talked about. Except now they have no choice about it. The IRS is holding the lever, so neither extreme wins. Drain the IRA first, and you trigger the torpedo early, like the first couple. Never touch it, and you build a bigger torpedo for later. The couple that comes out ahead isn't the one that picks a side. It's the one that does something quieter and a little more patient in between. So, what does the right order actually look like? The one that keeps almost all of the 42,000 and diffuses the 73 problem too. Here's the order that tends to win. And notice, it's not always this account, then that one. It's a blend guided by those tax lines. First, cover most of your yearly spending from the brokerage account and any cash. Those dollars barely show up in the Social Security formula, so they keep you under the line and protect your benefit from the torpedo. Second, and this is the piece the never touch your IRA folks miss, take a small deliberate withdrawal from the traditional IRA each year anyway. Not 70,000, just enough to fill up the low tax bracket you're already in, and no more. You're letting a little air out of that IRA now in your low-income 60s, so it isn't a giant forced problem at 73. You shrink the future torpedo on your own terms instead of letting the IRS build it for you. Third, if your health and situation allow it, delay your Social Security. A bigger check later, started once your IRA is already trimmed down, is far easier to protect. And fourth, leave the Roth account for last. That's your tax-free money, the one bucket that never counts against your Social Security or your Medicare. Save it for emergencies and big one-time expenses. That's the whole difference between 42,000 kept and 42,000 gone. Not a secret investment, not a trick, just the order, chosen on purpose instead of by habit. Now, if your stomach just dropped because you've been draining the wrong account for 2 years already, stay with me, because the best part of this rule is what it does for the people who think they're already too late. If you've already been pulling from the wrong account, take a breath. You have not lost $42,000. That number was 6 years of the mistake start to finish. You are not 6 years in with no way out. Because here's the quiet mercy in all of this. The order isn't a contract. Nobody locked it in. You choose which account to draw from again the next time you need money. This year, this quarter, your very next withdrawal. You can stop the bleeding the moment you understand it. Every year you correct is a year you keep. So this week, before you take another dollar out, do one small thing. Look at where your last withdrawal came from and ask whether it pushed your combined income past that $44,000 line. That one question, once a year, is most of the game. Now I owe you the honest fine print because this channel lives on being straight with you. Our two couples are illustrations, not real people. The 42,600 comes from a careful model using the 2026 tax rules, with the accounts held flat, so the number reflects the tax alone. Your exact figure depends on your state, your health, whether you're single or married, and what you've saved. This is education, not personal tax advice. Take it to a tax professional who does retirement income for a living and run your real numbers. Here's what I want you to carry out of this. After a lifetime of building that nest egg, the real danger was never its size. Two couples proved it. Same pile, same age, same everything. The danger was the order they opened it. You spent 40 years deciding how much to save. It turns out the last quiet decision, what to spend first, can weigh just as much as all of them. Get the order right, and the money you worked for stays yours. If this is a mistake you'd rather read about than live through, I've already pulled the next case file for you. It's right there on the screen. A different couple, a different number, the same chance to catch it early. I'll see you in that one.